today webinar introducing a really interesting special issue. So welcome everyone. My name is Francesco Di Maddaloni and I am one of the co-editor-in-chief for the International Journal of Managing Project in Business. Together with Natalie and Carl, Natalie is the editors-in-chief and Carl is one of the associate editors. We are running this workshop to give an opportunity for prospective authors to clarify ideas, share their own view, and have a discussion with the editors. So I'm going to share a little bit the story of the journal at the moment. So what we are, what we do, and how important it is to publish with us. Perfect. Yes. So today is just 1 hour of space to meet the editors for a session which focuses on the special issue that has been proposed by a member of team that covers innovation management and project management. So the title and a topic of the special issue is AI-driven transformation, integrating innovation management and project management for the future. So the hour that we scheduled today is exactly to ask questions to the editors and clarify ideas on prospective submission that will happen. Very briefly introduction, the International Journal of Managing Project Business has recently extended the members of the editorial team. Natalie Drouin, which has been there for almost 10 years, has seen the opportunity to expand the team and include myself as a co-editor-in-chief and a great range of associate editor, Lindsay Wang from BI Norwegian Business School, Carl Marwerick from the University of Johannesburg, and Thomas Aola, which from Tampere University. We have John as an editorial assistant, John Waislake, and we also are covering more and more our presence into the social media through Eric and Jichen, one looking to the European and mainly focusing on LinkedIn channel, and Yichen is focusing on the Chinese market through WeChat. What we do, so basically what is the aim and scope of the International Journal of Managing Project in Business? We try to seek and advance theory, research, and practice in all aspects of project and project management. Of course, we promote project management in business management. We encourage publication on novel, theoretical and practical insight that can actually have a multidisciplinary approach in social science. And of course, we also are really happy to see new avenues or not often addressed topic in the field of project management. So innovation way of doing research is what we encourage the most. As you can see, our impact factor has increased over last year. We are in a good spot of 3.4, which is great result. Also, the citation score was consolidated to 6.9. We have to date an acceptance rate which is 15.2%, and from time to the first decision to when the paper has been processed under the review, we take an average of 35 days. So basically you can see some numbers around the journal which signs the good health of the journal. So we are rapidly increase our impact factor, our presence, and also we are receiving more and more submission. So this is very, very encouraging. What do we look at? We look for theoretical, empirical research. As I said, business and management is the perspective that we want to take forward. Social science, is the approach that we root our research, and new and innovative research is what we encourage the most. What we are not interested, this is something that has to be clear to our audience and prospective author, over technical papers, based, for example, on modeling, algorithms, and applied mathematics, is something that we are not interested. Mainly, we look to our journal and project management as a social science discipline, of course, linked to engineer management, but this is a business and management journal. So remember that we are not interested in other technical papers, algorithms, for example, or applied mathematics. We also add and having two special issue proposals, so call for proposals. And this is exactly where this special issue on AI and integration of innovation management with project management came from. It was a very strong proposal from Valentina, which I will introduce in a bit. And then just to remind you that we have two calls for paper for proposals, basically. One window which opens on February 1st and closes on the last day of April. And the second call is about to be closed. So because you had the opportunity to submit your proposal idea from July the 1st until September the 3rd. So you got a couple of weeks to submit your proposal if you have anything excited in mind. Then the proposal will be reviewed by the editorial team, and one or two will be selected to be proposed in our journal. For any information, contact us. There is the QR code in which you can actually find more information. And here we are. So the call for paper that we are going to work today basically is a webinar based on AI-driven transformation. We have a wonderful team here with Valentina leading the special issue, together with Marina Debic, Vincenzo Corvello, Antonio Bassi, and Carl Marnwerick, which is, of course, one of our editors. So remember that more information about the special call and the special issue can be found in our website, and the deadline is fast approaching, so it's on the 31st of October. This is a very good opportunity today for you to ask a question to the editors. And before I'm going to leave the space to both Valentina and Carl, I recommend you to follow us in both WeChat if you are in China or LinkedIn. Thank you very much for your attention. I look forward now to hear about this exciting special issue.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank the journal, your journal, for accepting our call for paper, this special issue that is very important in this moment, and also we collaborated together to make it more attractive and more let's say important for the researchers. So as Francesco presented, our call for paper is focused in AI-driven transformation, how to integrate innovation management and project management for the future, and why this theme, why we choose to focus in this argument, in this research topic. This because okay, the journal is a project management journal, so we know that today we are living in a so-called project economy. Some researchers and some practitioners are calling the economy a project economy because of the many projects that we are called to manage and to realize for the development and for the competitiveness. In fact, according to the Project Management Institute, the value of project-oriented economic activity worldwide would capture a value of $20 trillion in 2027, and there are currently 39.5 million project professionals around the world. This is according to PMI, let's say, surveys and researches. But what projects did is that they involve changing of organization and the creation of the new innovations. Obviously, we know that innovation lies at the heart of different organizations, different business, in order to pursue a long-term competitive advantage and to command a prominent position in their business agendas through the creation of new products, new services, as well as the enhancement of existing ones. Now, in the recent years, we have seen that the digital technologies have highly influenced the innovation process and also has accelerated this process. But now we are in the time, we are in the period in which artificial intelligence is part of our lives, and so also generative artificial intelligence has become the driving forces for the next wave of innovation. We are seeing this across enterprises. We are seeing this in the redesign of the new products, of the new services, on the different processes, in the social sciences, in business sciences, and all over the world. Application and researches recently have demonstrated that AI, artificial intelligence, can not only influence, but also can accelerate innovation processes. But what is happening in the literature is that there are many, let's say, researchers, papers, articles that are focusing on the combination and on the, let's say, this impact of AI and innovation, in the linkage between AI and innovation management. And you have here some, for example, some recent articles, very important articles that are focusing on how generative AI, for example, is influencing innovation management, published at very important journals, Technological Forecasting and Social Change, for example, or Business Process Management, or Technovation. So what I want to say with this is that while the literature on AI and innovation is developing, and there are many researchers focusing on it, the literature related to AI and project management is a little bit lacking. Is lacking in the sense that the interaction between AI, innovation, and project management is lacking, because we are having also many research and many papers and articles focusing on how project management is using artificial intelligence in different functions, in different processes around of the project management. According to a research from Gartner in 2019, it was supposed that by 2030, 80% of the project management work will be substituted by artificial intelligence. But in fact, the evidences today are different, that we are using the project management, the research and the practice is demonstrating that project managers are using artificial intelligence for different functions and different processes, but yet project managers are needed, and they are the let's say the main point of contact that makes the link between the data, the insights, the technology, and the artificial intelligence and technology that will create output for meaningful project outcomes. So also for what regard the literature on AI and project management is being developed, but is mainly focused on surveys to see how project managers, for example, are using artificial intelligence, where artificial intelligence is being used, which are some of the knowledge areas or the processes in which artificial intelligence is having some impact or is helping the project managers to manage effectively some of these processes and some of these functions of project management. But what is missing, what we explore that is missing when we wrote this call for paper, is that there is let's say a gap to explore how artificial intelligence is reshaping the intersection of innovation management and project management. And so for this reason, we focused on this special issue on calling for contribution that are based on theoretical insights and practical applications that tries to bring together these three pillars. So artificial intelligence, innovation management, and project management, and especially on how artificial intelligence could be a bridge between innovation and project management. Because at the end, every project needs to create a change, needs to create an innovation. And so how AI could help project managers and the project management to grasp more, let's say, levels of innovation, new products, and new services in this area. We know that AI offers different opportunities, such as accelerating time to market or enhancing efficiency, foster creativity and co-creation of solutions. We know this also from research, but also from the practice. But we know that AI also introduces many challenges with whom we need to to cope, and the main challenges are related with ethics, with its adaptation, and also with the human AI balance. So the focus of this special issue is, as I said before, so probably based on this. So it's not how AI impact project management, but is how AI, innovation, and project management can work together. So the interaction of these domains and how AI can be leveraged to enhance decision making, optimize resource management, and foster creativity in organizational context. As it is written in our special issue, we have identified some research topics of interest, but these are not the only ones. We can also explore others. The main ones that we identified is how is AI evolving the alignment between innovation management and project management, which AI-driven tools can enhance decision-making, innovation, project management, how can AI unlock new paths to integrate sustainability into project management practices, fostering innovation and future-ready solutions, or in what ways can AI revolutionize change management by streamlining transitions and mitigating resistance. Also, papers or research based on how organizations can balance innovation with human factors, or how we can redefine communication, collaboration dynamics in project management to enhance innovation and team synergy, or also how to unpack AI's potential to foster innovation and team working, or also what transformative impact does artificial emotional intelligence have on managing teams and fostering innovation in project environments. We have had, so these are the main research topics. In fact, we have had many articles that has been sent to our special issue, but I have to say that most of them didn't get this this novelty contribution that we want to provide with this special issue. We have now some papers that are in review, but I have to say that for the moment we have few ones that has, let's say, captured this dimension of how to interlink these three dimensions together. So we hope to have other submissions in this month and a half, because the submission deadline for this special issue is 31 of October. I think that the theme is very interesting, and it will contribute to the project management literature, and will provide some more practical insights also for our project managers. So this is in fact, mainly the issue of our call for paper, the main research directions and the focus of our call for paper. Francesco presented already the journal, very important one, and high level, very qualitative one. We are in this call for paper also with other colleagues that are editors of other journals, like Marina Debic and also Professor Bassi. And we have with us today also Professor Vincenzo Corvello, that is a co-editor, a guest editor of this special issue, but it also is also an editor of another journal, so he can maybe provide some instructions on the submission process and some tips for aligning the manuscripts with the special issue scope. So thank you from my side. After the Vincenzo's speech, we can have some question and answer session.
Thank you, Valentina. Thank you, everybody. So welcome and thank you for joining our webinar here. And as Valentina just introduced, I'm Vincenzo Corvello, one of the guest editors of this special issue. And by the way, I'm editor-in-chief of another Emerald's journal, the European Journal of Innovation Management. So my colleagues thought that it might be a good idea to discuss some common doubts about the submission process in general, and how to draft some formal technical aspects of your paper in order to align it with our expectations for the special issue. Now, Let me thank my colleagues, Valentina, Marina, Antonio, and Carlo. Let me thank Emerald and Francesco for their assistance. Well, I think Francesco already explained some of the aspects I wanted to discuss in my presentation. Okay, so basically, you can find what I'm going, most of the things I'm going to tell you on the journal webpage. I just selected the things that people ask me more often when I do this kind of presentations for my journal. One thing you should be aware of is that Francesco, please stop me if you already mentioned these things because I missed a few minutes of your presentation. Emerald works on a do-it-right first basis, which basically means that you should list all the authors involved in the writing on the paper when you do your first submission, and it will be quite difficult to include other authors afterwards. So it happens sometimes that after a paper has been accepted, you ask to include another author. Well, this is discouraged, strongly discouraged in this case. Another question I get quite often is, can we use artificial intelligence to write our paper? Well, basically, to make it simple, the answer is no. You can use it to revise your paper, but you cannot entirely write a section of your paper, even a small one, using generative AI. So also you should acknowledge the use of AI and explain how you use it. Please stop me if anything is not clear, and I'll be happy to go a little bit into the details. The paper should be original. There's the possibility of partially using something you have already used in conferences. There's a specific policy for papers published online in open source repositories, but I strongly encourage you to visit the Guidelines for Authors page and check the rules about originality. Basically, however, the idea is that the paper should be original and not published elsewhere before the submission. Consider that editors have tools, software tools, that allow them to check if your paper is original based on the publications from 800 different publishers. So basically, if your paper is not original, it will be flagged in the editorial management platform. So be careful about that. The journal has gold open access and green open access policy, so you can ask for your paper to be made available open access upon acceptance. In that case, of course, the publication fee will be required, will be asked, and then the paper will be made available. The journal has also a green open access, which basically means that you can use for self-archiving your accepted version of the paper, not the one published online by the publisher, by Emerald. Let me go first. I don't know if you have already mentioned the length of the paper, between 8,000 and 12,000 words. Try to keep the length of the paper within these limits, at least upon first submission. In my experience, a small difference can be tolerated after revision, but it's usually better to try to stick to this length. What else? You should submit through via Scholar One. The peer review is double-blind anonymous, so submit anonymous papers. After you have uploaded your paper, please check the PDF version that the system generates and check that your name is not visible in the paper, but also, for example, in the comments that sometimes authors forget to remove from the paper. Remember that if the paper is not anonymous, it will be automatically rejected with no chance for your work to be considered. It will be a pity. Francesco already mentioned that the journal is aimed mainly an academic audience, so we expect research-based, theory-based articles, not so much applications, even if, of course, the papers should have strong practical implications. We both expect quantitative and qualitative papers, but consider that qualitative does not mean that the paper can be less rigorous. We expect qualitative contribution, but with high methodological rigor. Same. So we would be happy to publish case studies, multiple case studies, but with the application of rigorous methods. And why could your paper be rejected, in particular desk rejected, which is what happened to the papers Valentina mentioned that we already received and rejected in the past few months? Well, mostly because they are not in scope. Valentina was very clear about the scope of the special issue. Sometimes we get good papers, but not in line with the topic we are addressing, so that's the reason. Then it should be a relevant contribution, rigorous method, and I know it sounds a bit trivial, but it should be written in good, correct English. So just before submitting, try to double check the language in your paper. Above all, we sometimes get papers with mistakes, grammar mistakes in the title or abstract. Well, it's not a good way to start, and so it sometimes happens that papers are rejected because of such mistakes. Some considerations which are a little bit personal. I mean, that's my opinion in a way shared by my colleagues, guest editors. Spend a little time thinking about your title. Don't choose, so to speak, trivial titles. The title should communicate something about the story what you want to tell in your article. So, for example, this is personal. I don't like titles like this one that just list the variables used in the paper. Try to be a little bit more creative. Well, do not be only creative. The title should be a little bit catchy, not too much, but also explain the content of the paper. So I propose three different titles. I personally do not like this one, too cold. Not this one, not clear enough, but I like this one. Both catchy and able to explain what's inside the paper. Consider that Emerald requires a structured abstract when submitting your paper. So do not, well, let's be honest. Sometimes you have a paper you think is good, has been rejected by another journal. You adjust it a little bit and submit it to a new journal. Well, do not forget to adapt the paper to the guidelines of the new journal you're submitting to. It's not a bad thing to try to find another author for your paper, but if I get a paper which has not been modified in order to fit the guidelines of the journal, well, I suspect the authors did not pay enough attention to the quality of their writing. So one tip, one small tip, one little tip is be careful of the structured abstract. Follow the guidelines of the journal. One more thing, usually authors are very clear about purpose, the design and methodology, but sometimes they overlook the field originality and value of the paper. Personally, I consider this part of the abstract very important. So pay attention when you write this part, explain why your paper is original, what it is adding to the domain you are researching. Well, I have the slides about the other parts of the paper, but they are rather standard. So I think I have taken the 15 minutes was allowed to. So I'm gonna stop here with my presentation, but please, if you have doubts about the structure of the paper or the submission process or the structure of the paper, well, just ask freely your questions. We are here to answer your doubts and try to help improve the quality of your submissions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your presentation, both Valentina and Professor Vincenzo Corvello. Very good point, the one that you made. You know, make sure that your title and paper itself is not cold. Sometimes when I do my job as the editor, I see paper which have no soul. Yeah, I call soulless paper. Yeah, that does not, a paper that does not have a character. Yeah, so basically try to be really creative at the same time. Make sure that I don't lose interest when I read the paper. I read something that I can learn from, first of all, which is methodologically sound, which has got a good literature that really leads into the knowledge gap and clear research question. And from there, having, you know, a method and data that really supports your finding and discussion. Sometimes I see this process pretty much cold, as you mentioned, Vincenzo, without the depth and critical thinking that we require into an academic article. I'm going to leave a little bit also some words to Natalie, I think, because she, as the editor-in-chief, have seen so many special issues for the journals, and there are common pitfalls. One is the one that you have mentioned rightly, Valentina. There is no scope. Yeah, so the paper that has been submitted has been rejected because it's not absolutely in scope for the special issue. One of the greatest recommendations, and then going to leave space to Natalie for a few more comments or reflection, yeah, on common pitfalls or submitting to a special issue, is that the authors don't read the call itself. Yeah, what is the requirement for the call? Yeah, what is expected? Just the title, yeah, does not make your research suitable, because you need to really understand what the call is all about, what the proposed themes are, in order to see if there is check and fit for your work to be published in that special issue. Or sometimes the paper is too technical, yeah, too technical that cannot be understood or cannot be reviewed, because we don't have skilled reviewer that are able to assess modeling paper or over mathematical paper. It's not on the scope of the journal itself. Remember that each special issue that the journal proposes is linked to the strategy and vision of the journal itself. So it's not something that goes against the nature of the journal. It's something that actually helps to increase the vision and enhance the vision of the journal. So for that reason, make sure that your paper, when you write, aligns to what the journal expects and also that aligns to what the special issue really aim to see, yeah, published in the special collection. Natalie, would you like to add some reflection about a common pitfall for the special issue, or some recommendation to that?
Yes, thanks, Francesco, and thank you very much, Valentina and Vincenzo, for your very interesting advice. I just want to add two additional points. The first one is it is important to look at also the themes that are proposed, you know, in the special issue proposal. You know, you have it can give you good ideas of how your paper can fit or not. The other thing also is do not hesitate to write to the guest editors. And sorry, Valentina and Vincenzo, to mention that. But this is important before submitting. If you're not 100% sure that your paper will fit, just, you know, just write to the guest editors so they can, you know, give you some guidance. And if it doesn't fit for the proposal, for the special issue, it means that maybe it fits for the journal. So you have another option. So just keep that in mind. And finally, we have policies on artificial and how to use artificial intelligence. So I was just when Vincenzo and Francesco, you asked me to say a few words, I was just writing on the chat, you know, giving the link of if you want additional information on how to use artificial intelligence to support the writing of your paper, you have to be very careful, and we have a very strict policy. So I'm just going to put this link on the chat if you want to have access to it. And we have early sight. So it means that as soon as your paper is finally accepted, then it's going to be available online and then group under the special issue. So this is, you know, good also for you because it gives more time. As soon as it is accepted, your paper will be available. So that's what I wanted to say. And again, Valentina, Vincenzo, and Francesco, of course, thank you for putting this webinar online, available for people to have interaction with you, to better understand what are the expectations with this fantastic special issue.
That's great. Now we have a little bit less than 20 minutes for the people attending to ask a question. So this is the good chance to raise your hand and ask a question if you have any in mind for the editors, prospective editors. You can also type on the chat if you prefer to do so. So there is different way of asking, and now giving you the stage for clarify any doubt that you have around the special issue. So please don't hesitate to raise your hand and ask any question that you believe is worthwhile to be asked. So no question at the moment?
No, I have gave permissions to everyone, so also they can just unmute themselves and start talking.
Okay, so you can unmute yourself also, and now you can start asking the question. Meanwhile, that you figure out, yeah, if you really want to ask something or use the chat to do so, I would like to ask something to Carl. Yeah, Carl is one of the editors, associate editors for the journal. So something that we try also to do when we propose a special issue is to include one member of the editorial team into the special issue to make sure that because the multidisciplinary approach, we have a good balance between project management, in this case, which is the aim of the journal, and for this special call, for example, innovation management. So we have few people that are really focusing on innovation, and for the journal, we have also Carl, which is a research evolves, you know, through AI, IT, and digital transformation. So he's an expert on that topic. Carl, if I should ask you a simple question, what is your expectation, right? When you receive a paper, you start reading it, what you really actually see as a common pitfall? The scope, we already discussed it, right? Sometimes it's not out of scope. There's nothing that we can do. But even if it's in scope, what a paper misses to reach the next stage of the review or actually a desk acceptance? What do you believe is the common pitfall that you find?
Yeah, thanks, Francesco. I think it's a little bit difficult. This is not an easy topic, special issue. And I think a lot of the papers that we got, although they might be in scope, they talk about AI and project management or AI and innovation. But as Valentina said, that really intersection of how do we merge or link these three things or concepts, AI and innovation and project management. So you might have some idea of linking these three concepts, but it's really difficult to grasp how to link those three concepts. Let me give you an example. So a lot of the project management research is very much on AI. How can we use it in scheduling and things like that? And that's fine. But where is the innovation part? And I think that is the part that we miss is how do I bring that AI and scheduling? How can I be innovative in it? To say, but how can we go beyond the normal scheduling? I've got a student now that's looking at AI and scheduling. And she came up with a lot of things that will benefit. It will look at forecasting and HR and all of those kind of things. But that's a basic level. That next level to see, but how do we go beyond that and bring that innovation into the project management realm? I think that is where we miss the good papers for this special issue, because for me, the project management side is there, but the innovation side is missing. So if there can be that emphasis on how we bring that innovation part of AI into the project management, I think that would be the deal breaker.
Yeah, and thank you, Carl. I think this is really a nice reflection. Also, the aim of this special issue, we have seen that there is a gap at the intersection between innovation, project management, AI at the moment, and balancing the three different areas is the challenging exercise that the authors are actually called to address. It's also true that you need to be you need to be grounded between two different stream or literature in this case. Yeah, you need to see how project management talks with innovation management and how AI can bridge the gap between the two. So without losing the focus of what is the real aim of the call here. This is exactly what we expect from the authors, being able to understand what the intersection between project and innovation management is, and how AI is a catalyst and bridges those two disciplines together. Product development, for example, is a project itself. How AI links it to this innovation in order to find something new, to find something controversial. Sometimes I end up reading paper that in the end I said, well, I have learned nothing. Yeah, very good paper, very well written, but little or no novelty in the way that you actually explain and reflect and propose your findings. So what is counterintuitive there? Yeah, so what is actually a wow finding that we can take forward? Sometimes it's missing, this in-depth reflection or seeing things in a different way that will contribute somehow, to this course, in this case, to the linkage and bridging, innovation management with project management through an AI perspective. This is extremely important for the authors to reflect on. Please, if you have any question, guys here attending, just raise your hand and we will be happy to address. Otherwise, we can carry on also a little bit on the discussion again. Valentina, this call has been now open, I think, a few months back. Can't remember the day exactly that it started. We received few papers already, which the majority have been rejected. As you said, it's all about the scope. Also, have you found something that goes beyond the scope that made you to decide to desk reject?
Mainly, most of the papers we rejected were about the scope, in fact. Okay, few papers were not technical, but more like case studies, but without a methodology that explains what we want to obtain with this description of these case studies about projects in which AI has been used. So this was, but mainly for the papers that were desk rejected were because of the scope.
The scope. So this is a really clear message that please read the guideline, read what Vincenzo have rightly explained to you step by step of what is expected by the journal, not only by the guest editor for the special issue, but for the Emerald, as a publisher for the journal. So there are clear guidelines for you to follow if you are interested to submit with us. Something that I really want to highlight here. Sometimes I see papers which builds evidence from nothing, which means that they don't have enough data to build credible or valid result. Make sure that your data is clear. Make sure that you have a strong data set. Make sure that the data really clear, explains, and is fit to answer your research question. Sometimes I see this, fragmentation between data and theory or data and findings and then discussion, which are not aligned or are actually not reflecting the narrative that you propose. So this is, again, some of the basic on how to publish, not just for the special issue, but for any high-quality academic journals. But this is what I recommend you the most. Make sure that there is a good flow, from data to your findings and discussion. Make sure that you use the right method to answer your research question, and make sure that your research question clearly emerge from your literature review. So this is the process that, of course, has to be in place. And when I see this at the desk stage, I'm confident that the paper can be reviewed and will actually be published at some point, because then the review process will be double blinded. So 2 reviewers or 3 will be allocated to the paper, and then they try to be constructive on advancing to the next stage. Me as an editor, when I see the paper struggling and needed more than 2 or 3 rounds of review, I try to make a decision very early. If I see that the paper will struggle and will require much more time than expected, I prefer to kill it, straight away, and not dragging the paper forever and having like 3 round of measured revision. This is not, it's not something that we want to see. We want to see a paper that really progresses over time, improves over time, and reaches the quality expected by the journal. So we're reaching almost the end of the 1-hour webinar, which I believe has been really informative to those that are willing to publish with us. Remember the deadline is the 31st of October. Remember also that the guest editors are there to support you. So if you are not sure about the fit of your paper, please drop a message to the editors. However, the editors will not be able to review your article. Okay, so this has to be clear. You don't send the article to the guest editor asking to review it. You just engage in a discussion to see if there is a fit of what you aim to submit. So if, as an editor, if I start receiving paper from I will do only this in my life. So I cannot be able to read all your paper. So don't send the paper, just engage in a discussion if there is a good idea behind what you're proposing. If there is fit, Okay, as I said, try to avoid mathematical or algorithmic or modeling papers. We are not interested in that. We take a social science, basically business management perspective, engineering management. Yeah, management is the element that has to emerge, which of course implies that we need a theoretical rigor, yeah, and also practical implication for that can be actually have an impact in practice and can improve managerial decision. So this is everything from my side. I don't know if Valentina or Vincenzo wants to add some concluding remark. Otherwise, yeah, I'm happy to conclude this session.
Or just we are yet waiting for papers that are on scope.
Absolutely. So there's still you know over a month, yeah, for the paper to be submitted. Basically, almost 2 months. So make the best out of this opportunity. Vincenzo.
I just wanted to thank all the attendants for their patience and interest in our special issues. Only that. Thank you all.
Thank you. I hope it was worthwhile to attend. I believe that has been a very nice hour, which we explained and clarify our expectation. And now it's up to you to try to submit something solid, something worthwhile to be read, something that can contribute, yeah, to both innovation management and project management. Thank you very much for attending. Wish you a lovely day and keep in touch. Thanks.